Welcome back to another podcast, Clean Mentality. Guys, today I went to the Trump rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we didn't get into the event, but what I did get to do is see the mass amounts of people that were there, and it was crazy. It was amazing how many people were there. There was a mile plus, probably 2 miles long, of people waiting to go into Van Andel before 5 p.m. when he starts, right? So we're sitting in line. We sat in line for about 2 hours waiting, and then we eventually decided that there was way too many people in front of us, so we left. But as I was sitting in line, I noticed that the young guys in front of me were clearly going to the gym. You could tell. You can tell people that go to the gym and people that don't. So I go, "Hey man, you guys work out? You go to the gym?" They're like, "Yeah, man." And then I go and ask them, "Let's knock some push-ups out. Let's get this going. We can get a bunch of people doing push-ups while we're waiting here in line." They go, nah, man, nah." And then they ignore me. Well, then the funny thing is not, I don't know, 10 minutes later, I look out in front of me and I see like a block ahead that there's a man and his sons doing push-ups. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go talk to them. So I go and talk to these guys, and the dad is interested, and they're friendly, right? And they're doing push-ups, and I go, "Hey, I noticed you're doing push-ups." They're like, "Oh, we don't want a competition or anything." And I'm like, I didn't want one either. I just wanted to do some push-ups. But ultimately it became a conversation, and I talked with them about how their son's in cross country, and the dad's setting an example doing push-ups with their sons in line on the way to the Trump rally. And that was the most badass thing I fucking saw there. And those the people that had the most balls. The other group that I talked to that I just told you about, they didn't even, there was more. The thing that pisses me off the most, guys, is the dad of the group that I talked to first had a tattoo from the 101st Airborne. So he's clearly ex-military, has a lot of skill, and he had discipline in his life. And yes, I am kind of assuming things here, but reality is that if your kids aren't willing to do some push-ups, like while they're sitting in line, what kind of example are you setting at home? Clearly not a good one. Because I'm glad that those kids go to the gym, but there's young kids that go to the gym for social aspects, and there's young kids that go to the gym because they actually want to get better and look good, and it's for their own mental health. And ultimately, if they're asked in public to go do push-ups with someone like myself that clearly is fit, and most people would go do them with me. That was it wasn't really rare. That was a sad example of parenting in society. And sadly, even more sadly, it's more apparent. It's happening a lot more than I wish I could say. That other family that was doing push-ups together, the dad, the son that does cross country, and the other son that is coming up and coming. He's a younger guy. Who knows? Maybe he's in freaking elementary school, middle school, but he was doing push-ups too. And these kids are 5 years younger than these older kids I was talking to that go to the gym. It just goes to show how the family example that's set in the home matters so much. It matters, because if you're not setting a good example for your kids, if you don't have any kind of a standard that you're setting, they're going to walk all over people. They're going to not give a shit about people. They're going to be, not social, and kind of stay in their groups, whatever. And I'm not saying that's you have to be social all the time, or you have to do push-ups with some random person. It's your right. We're in America. It's your right that you can decide whatever you want to do. But we were sitting in a Trump rally line that's a mile long. We weren't getting there anytime soon. Why not do some push-ups? And the fact is, and I talked to my other friend Oliver about this, and sometimes it's just the fact that people aren't, people don't live the same way I do, and they don't think the same way I do. I do a lot of things that's for mental toughness and to better myself, to become the man that I want to be and to go to the place I want to be. And I had to have a lot of mental toughness to go there. And some people aren't about that. Fact of the matter is, guys, is that if you aren't setting a standard at home for your kids, or if you are a child and you have your parents at home and you know from listening to me right now that there isn't a standard at home, you have to set it. Yeah, it sucks. You're young, but you have to set the example because your parents aren't going to do it, clearly. And I know it's hard to learn when you're young because you don't want anyone else to tell you anything. And that's actually the best part, is you set the standard. Here's the standard that I live by. Take initiative. Be disciplined. Accept responsibility. Build positive relationships. Pick up after yourself. Put the damn shopping cart back. Be physically fit. Be mentally tough. Be spiritually strong. Live in faith. Seek your desires. That's what the standard is. There's no, be a man. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that mean? Be a man. Does anyone even know what that actually means? Because I can tell you right now, when most people say that, they're usually overweight or not holding a standard when they say it. The standard is this, guys. We have to change our communities and culture. How does that start? Starts with you. You have to get better physically. You have to get better mentally. You have to get better spiritually. You have to get better with your relationships. You have to build positive ones. You have to get rid of the trash that's in your life, because there's all kinds of trash out there, guys. There's plenty of people out there that they don't mean it. They don't give a shit about you. Yet they'll take everything they can from you. That's reality. I'm watching someone right now, sweatpants, sweatshirt, just freaking chilling on a Saturday, right? Now, not everybody is here to live this style of life that I live, okay? But this kid clearly doesn't have a standard. I can tell by the way his car looks. I can tell, and yes, you can tell by looks. You can tell by the way someone looks, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way that they take care of themselves and their things. You know who holds the standard and who doesn't. It's not about, they look funny in the face or something. No, that's not what I mean. I mean the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they take care of their things, and the way they take care of themselves. You can tell if someone holds a standard or not, or if they're a piece of shit. And yes, I'm using a lot of swear words on this podcast today because I feel really deeply passionate about changing this, because the amount of people I saw in that Trump rally that are overweight and just totally wasting their fucking lives in the temple that God gave them. Remember, your body is a temple, and if you are not holding a standard physically, just physically even, then you're wasting the body that God gave you. You're wasting it. Every day that you sit in the house all day doing absolutely nothing, if you watch Netflix all day, that does absolutely nothing. But after what I saw today, the thousands and thousands of people I saw today, and the amount of people that I saw struggling with this right here, they want you fat. They want you unhealthy. They want you sick. They want you to eat their food. They want all these things. It's what Andy Frisella says a lot on his podcast. We have to combat all of those things with being the opposite. Anything that they want and they tell you that they want, or they show you in ads, like they show you people that are overweight in clothing ads now. They're showing you that for a reason so that you think it's okay and it's comfortable and it's good. It's not. If you are overweight and we get into a civil war or a world war and you have to go fight out in the frickin' street or out in the farm or out wherever for your life, I can tell you right now, if you're overweight, you will get shot very fast if you don't just hide somewhere. There is a lot more to it than just having a gun. And the amount of bounding you have to do while you're carrying a weapon and you're carrying ammo and you're carrying all the things you have to carry for true war. And if it's force on force, it could be way more involved. If it's government on its people, still, it's going to be, either way, it's all war, right? And I haven't been in war, but I've been in enough training preparing for combat that I know what it takes. And ultimately, it takes that times 5 or 10 probably. I can tell you right now, any person that's overweight, that isn't in shape, and you don't have to be in like fucking crazy good shape. You don't have to look like a bodybuilder. You don't have to be shredded. A lot of these guys that are in the military, in the National Guard and infantry, they're not shredded. They just are able to run. They're able to do these exercises. And if you're able to do those things without being overweight, then you'll be okay. But there's other parts of it too. You got to be able to shoot, communicate, lead if needed, right? You got to be able to lead people. And you can't do that if you don't have a strong mind. I can tell you right now, you can't lead without a strong mind. There's no fucking way. And the fact that people are still stuck in COVID right now is bullshit. If you're still using the excuse of, oh, COVID really fucked me up, or, oh, they're really fucked up from COVID, that's bullshit. The only reason you're fucked up now is because you haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. You're staying in your comfort zone. That's all it is. And it's the problem we have in America is we all stay in our damn comfort zones all the time, never challenging ourselves, never pushing ourselves. And then you have all these weak-ass men that are out there. And I don't say women. You know why? Because the men are the ones that change and create in this world. We do. We are the ones that change and create. Hands down. There's no questions about it. That's all I got, guys.